What's happening, y'all? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Yes, indeed. Back giving y'all some more real talking reactions. And this reaction right here is from a Kwame Brown video of him clowning Stephen A. Smith for talking down on O.J. Simpson, them celebrating O.J. Simpson at the BET Awards. Y'all check this out, though. Y'all check it out. Because I think it's pretty messed up for Stephen A. to even say something about O.J. Simpson, period, in a negative light. I really do. But once again, y'all check this out.
And Stevie Boy, that's the point everybody make about you, and that's the point. See, some people try to say, oh, Kwame, you cried. Oh, no, ain't no crying. It's just look at this nigga, man. When Dana White slapped that white woman, Dana White slapped a woman in the face. They get up there and they be so hypocritical and say, well, she hit him first. When it comes to black women or women, period, if the woman was black, the first thing they would have said is there's no reason to hit a woman. How in the world can Stephen A. stand by Dana White, but every time it's somebody black, he gotta say something negative? O.J. Simpson, what's the difference between him and Elvis Presley? Elvis Presley was sleeping with 13-year-olds, married one. They don't bash Elvis Presley. They uplift Elvis Presley. O.J. Simpson, whether you like it or not, where everybody always say, believe in the court system, and if he's found guilty, if he's found innocent, believe in the justice system. Well, how come they can't say that for O.J.? He was actually found innocent. Why can't we talk about his football and what he brought to the football game if he was found innocent? If it was a white boy, they would have said, you know what, believe in the justice system. When it's OJ, it got to be an asterisk by his name for forever, even when he was found innocent. How does that make any sense? And they send Stephen Boy out there all the time. Jaylen Brown, he's not marketable. Every time he's opening his mouth is something negative towards black folk. And that's all he gets paid to do. He has no talent. He made up his entire life. This nigga talking about he got a basketball tryout in the wintertime in New York. Jason Whitlock broke this nigga down to a T. Where the team is in season, on a Sunday, he go and try out for big games, make 17 threes in a row. Then get on camera and say, oh, I only scored 1.5 points because I played in one game. Then everybody start, wait a goddamn minute. How you score 1.5 points in one game? How do you do this? Did they change the rules when Stephen A. played so he can have a shot, a free throw and a half or something? It makes no sense. I told y'all, stars are not born, they're created. These media clowns are not really media clowns. They are implants. They're planted to push a narrative, push an agenda. You don't believe me? Watch this.
You don't have to limit it to 3 or 4 sentences. Stephen A. Smith told preposterous stories. I hit 17 straight threes in big house games, gave me a scholarship on the spot. I drove down for a tryout on a Sunday for a team that was in season. I had a tryout in New York in the middle of the winter on a playground, and a guy drove me down the next weekend to try out for big house games. These are ridiculous stories, easily disprovable lies. Again, this isn't some claim. I'm just pointing out obvious facts that any journalist would be like, well, this doesn't make sense. Why would he say this? This can't be true. Everybody knows that, but again, they control everything. They're all in it together. It's a uniparty. As I exposed to you all, that any of this coverage, Stephen A. Smith went around the country, went around the Winston-Salem State, all on his social media, all on Gary Stevens' social media accounts. My teammate, Spank, from Winston-Salem State, we were teammates at Winston-Salem State. I exposed to you all. Gary Stevens, allegedly some 6'3" guard at Winston-Salem State, who nowhere listed in the registrar's office. Gary Stevens, Stephen A's in the gray suit. To the right of Stephen A. Smith, or to the left of Stephen A. Smith, to the right of screen is Gary Stevens. Stephen A. Smith is 6'1". Gary Stevens is supposed to be 6'3". That guy looks 5'9", 5'10". That's the guy that Stephen A. everywhere. We were teammates. Blah, blah, blah. It's flying private jets to Colorado and all this other stuff. but they have to quote some guy, Maurice Edmonds, not Stephen A's best friend, not the guy he flies all over the country with. Because we pointed out, like, hey, this Gary Stevens guy, he played basketball at some little tiny school in New York called Old Westbury. That's where he met his wife. This guy is 5'9". Does Stephen A play with a bunch of midgets? But they're quoting Maurice Edmonds? Why wouldn't... I've seen Gary Stevens on podcasts with Stephen A. Smith talking about being teammates and friends. Is Gary Stevens unavailable to vouch for Stephen A. Smith? Why do we have to drag out a Maurice Edmonds? What I'm talking about, the plant, the control. This is what Cat Williams was talking about. It's like they can fabricate, make up, twist the story, the narrative, any direction they want, and they can get major news outlets. There's video of Stephen A. Smith on ESPN lying about his basketball career. I only played one game. That's why I only averaged 1.5 points a game. He said this on air. One game, averaged 1.5 points. It's an impossibility. He came back on another show and said, hey, I'm lying about that. It's all a lie. I never played a game because I hurt my knee and I have a 6-inch screw in my knee. He said this. The Wall Street Journal, they're journalists. They know you can't put a 6-inch screw in anyone's knee. He said this on camera. They've built the make-believe world that they control and that they move their plants in and paint whatever picture they want of their plants. They distort the truth. It's a disinformation campaign.
Sounds like the Wall Street Journal and Stephen A.
When they own the information, oh, they can bend it all they want. Yeah, they own the information, so they can just bend it all they want. We have been listening to a weasel that thinks like this.
But I got something very simple to tell you that I figured out that I think will work for anybody in the world of corporate America and beyond. I wake up every day with 2 missions in mind. How do I make my bosses more money? And how do I get some of it? Very simple. Why?
Very simple. This son has been running around college campuses talking about a black teenager, running around talking about Allen Iverson. Everybody, black. And we keep tuning in to this network that's just destroying black men's lives because of why? The journalism is that good? Or we just love to hear gossip? We love to hear somebody talking about a private source that he's not going to prove because it's journalism. So you can just make up any old lie on any old player. Don't have to cite your source. And when you get paid to just put out narrative on players, because he has no real talent. He never played basketball. No high school career. I don't even think he played Little League.
Yeah, I honestly think that we do like hearing the mess, man. I really honestly do. You know, because most of us do. Most of us do. I ain't gonna lie on that. You know, even I'm pretty sure you like hearing it. But Stephen A., you was dead wrong. You was dead wrong for talking about O.J. Simpson. You was dead wrong, man. It ain't no if to it. None of that. You was dead wrong. You don't get no respect, and you shouldn't get no respect from any black man. Any black man, seriously. You shouldn't get no respect from, because that wasn't called for in no way, shape, form, or fashion. I really don't care about you lying about other stuff and all that. Yeah, whatever. I don't care about that. There's no way you should have been talking about O.J. Simpson. I didn't get the chance to see it. I really don't watch the BET Awards. That really ain't my thing. I don't like seeing black people on stage, you know, being ignorant, you know, and not valuing themselves like they should. I don't like watching, you know, the BET Awards. I used to, you know, 10, 15, 20 years ago. But, you know, nowadays, especially of recent, you know, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it, you know, especially when you actually care about how black people present themselves and actually them having morals and respect for themselves. And you can see it almost every BET Award, especially for about the last, you know, every bit, 5 years, 5, 6 years, you can see clear as day, the respect level that they're having for themselves is going further and further down. But Stephen A., you get no respect for talking about O.J. Simpson. You talk down on that man. Ain't no reason it wasn't no reason at all for you to talk down on that black man. At all. No reason at all. No reason at all. There's only one reason, brother. And I'm pretty sure we all know what it is. You showed it even more talking about OJ for no reason. You didn't have no reason to do that, bro. Not in no way, shape, form, or fashion. But y'all share, like, and subscribe. Peace, I'm out.